Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech and You. My name is Gaurav Upreti. Now this is a show where you get your weekly dose of vitamin T, technology. That's also important considering it's around us, man. Yeah, the show is ready, looks good. Let's go. AI is the future, man. Somebody is really excited about it and some people really fear it. But right now I know it's not in that stage where we should be afraid of AI. It's right now in the helping mode. I know later on it will become like the boss, Matrix. Why am I talking about AI? Because last week we showed you the first impression of the Honor View 10. This week it's the review, phone with AI. Take a look. Oh, Baba, thand hai. Let me just zip it up, man. Plus, it's windy and I'm not wearing my cap. And the cold also seems to have arrived. Honor, the brand. Now, they seem to be on a roll, man. Last year, they were just all over. Launched phone in all the popular categories. The categories that are really popular, very demanding, very dynamic. So for under 15,000, they launched the 7X that give you dual camera, full screen display. For 20,000 rupees, they launched the 9i, which is again a fantastic phone. Gave you dual camera not only at the back but also at the front, a good performance, and also the battery life. But the segment I think Honor is targeting, like the segment they want to truly rule, the OnePlus segment, right? Segment around 30,000 rupees. So when the OnePlus 5 was launched, they launched the 8 Pro, Honor 8 Pro, which gave you pretty much the similar specifications at lesser price. That one was launched at 33,000 rupees and they give you one for 29,000 rupees, right? Then OnePlus came out with the 5T with the full screen and also the face unlock. And yeah, it looked pretty good. OnePlus in a whole new avatar. I've been a OnePlus user for a long time, so yeah, I've used all of them, so I could say it still was in a good position. But now they've launched the Honor 10 View, the phone that everyone is talking about. So again, 18:9 aspect ratio, like the OnePlus 5T. The battery life is good. The processor they're using, the 970, is fantastic. You're getting 6 GB of RAM, again a dual camera, 128 GB of storage at 30,000 rupees. Now, the OnePlus 5T 64 GB variant would cost you around 32,000 rupees. This one is costing you 30. So one checklist done. One reason to buy the Honor 10 View. But to be fair, we're going to do a thorough comparison really soon because I'm very excited. This is a segment where people who don't really have the money to buy the high-end premium phone and want a good phone, they are someone who really use their phone properly. This is the segment, and the 10 View in fact not only matches the OnePlus 5T specs but gives you a little bit more. What's that? That's AI for you. Now first things first, the Honor View 10 in blue looks awesome. The design, the build quality, everything makes it look premium. The front has a 5.99-inch full view display with surprisingly sleek side bezels, wide viewing angles, rich colors and excellent brightness. Now you do get that 18:9 display here, however Honor has managed to fit in the home button at the bottom, which also doubles as your fingerprint scanner to unlock. Now this is good because the front camera, which does have that face recognition, only unlocks the notification and not the phone. And anyway, the fingerprint unlock always works faster. The home button has multi-touch capabilities to navigate, but you can always use the on-screen buttons. The View 10 comes with 6 GB RAM and 128 GB of storage, combined with the powerful Kirin 970 processor, which delivers best-in-class performance. Needless to say, your phone is going to run blazing fast. The 3750 mAh battery easily lasts over a day, even with heavy usage. It also charges really fast thanks to its proprietary fast charging. Talking about the camera, so present is a 20 megapixel and 16 megapixel monochrome plus RGB rear camera with 4K recording capabilities. Now the image quality is good in daylight as well as indoors, while in no light we did notice that the details were somewhat soft. Now let's talk about the AI because it comes into
display during your photography also. So the AI will analyze the scene and adjust the settings accordingly to give you the best results. And it did work most of the time. There's also the Microsoft Translator app which is pre-installed, so voice or text can be translated to your preferred language just like the Google Translator. Lastly, the AI learns and adapts to your phone's usage and allocates resources and offers tips for efficient usage.
Honor 10 View. I think it's a fantastic proposition. Like I said, the spec sheet and the price, it just sounds like a value for money smartphone. It truly does. Now, the performance, of course, with 6 GB of RAM and the Kirin 970 and the storage, performance is like super fast. No complaints about the performance. The thing to talk about is the camera, and well, I'll have to say about the cameras that the majority of people are going to be really happy with the camera, especially when the AI comes in. Few would have certain issues with the contrast levels and thing that AI actually brings into the picture. You want like some natural aspects to be there in your photography, but that's again very subjective. So like I said, majority is going to love the camera. Second thing, of course, is the AI. So AI does come in handy, doesn't bring in a lot of things into the phone, things that you would not really notice, but that's the AI working at the behind. And the face unlock feature, that's something that we want to see, and hopefully that can be done with an update. We're expecting that the update should come. Let's hope they do it to unlock your phone and not just the notification. Water resistant, again, it's not there. And again, yeah, the thing with the camera is that there's no optical image stabilization. So I was shooting videos, steady videos, looked fantastic, and it's just that when you're doing those pan shots, optical image stabilization would have really come in handy. Battery life is also pretty good. So I think overall it's a pretty good proposition, and like I said, if they could also make it water resistant. I know somehow just managed to spill water on this, and you really don't want to like waste a phone like this, right? So again, I think yeah, it's a fantastic proposition for 30,000 rupees. Competition of course is the OnePlus, but it beats OnePlus in terms of the price. But in terms of the overall performance, I mean, that's what we're actually working on right now. So comparison is going to be coming really soon. But for now, I think for 30,000 rupees, a fantastic deal. Next up, we have the Xiaomi M7 Power, a phone that is literally a power bank. 5000 mAh battery, man. But at times, battery is important, right? Here is a review of the Xiaomi M7 Power.
This is Xiaomi's first phone in India with a full view 18:9 aspect ratio display. You get a 6-inch of screen, but a resolution of 1440 by 720 pixels. It's not the brightest of the display in its class, but nevertheless the brightness, when cranked up, does the job. The colors look rich and viewing angles are also good. Watching videos and other multimedia is a good experience. We also love the design of this phone. The diamond-like cluster on the smartphone's textured back panel and the thick edges make it look a bit chunky, however the weight and the size just about feels right. The phone runs Android 7.1 Nougat with their Amigo 5.0 theme on top. Hardware includes an octa-core Snapdragon 435 processor, 4GB RAM and 64GB of storage. Now, it's disappointing to see a low-power Snapdragon processor on a 17,000 rupee phone. The Xiaomi Redmi 5A uses the same processor and costs half as much as the M7. So it will take care of your regular tasks, however, gaming and multitasking definitely takes a hit here. The performance also take a hit because of the extra bloatware and heavy Amigo skin by Xiaomi. The M7 Power sports a 13 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. The primary camera comes equipped with several modes. There's text recognition, translation, slow-mo, time-lapse, and also 3D photo. So basically you click a picture that can be viewed from different angles later on, like 3D. The feature works as intended in most of the cases, but definitely looks a bit artificial at times. Overall, the primary and the selfie camera are regular shooters, delivering optimally in good lighting conditions but struggling under low light. With the 5000 mAh battery, the smartphone is a powerhouse that runs for more than a day, in fact 2 days easily. However, the preloaded app definitely takes up space and also affects the overall battery endurance.
The Xiaomi M7 Power offers everything: a good display, a decent performance, a decent camera. But let's be honest, there are other smartphones that do better in these departments. However, one department where the Xiaomi M7 really shines out is when it comes to battery. We got a solid 2 days of battery, and also there's a fast charging option. So buy it if you want your phone to last for the entire day.
Next up, we have these cool headphones from Sony. Now, Sony is doing pretty good in the audio segment, and the one that we have right now, the Sony WH100XM2, they come with noise cancellation, which is pretty promising, and a couple of other features besides good audio. How does it all come together? Let's find out.
The Sony WH100XM2 are a slightly updated version of the MDR1000X. They have a two-tone color scheme that stands out a bit more than the original black version. They also have a simpler control scheme with one button to control the ambient mode and noise cancellation instead of two. They are definitely a bit more comfortable thanks to softer air pads, but the rest of the design is pretty much the same. They're not really the best phones to exercise with since they are a bit bulky. The headphones provide touch-sensitive controls for volume, call music, and track skipping. Additionally, they also offer aware mode to reduce the noise cancellation. Unlike the previous models though, the noise cancellation button now doubles as your aware ambient mode switch. However, they still have somewhat unique hand gestures that allows you to momentarily stop all audio and hear an ongoing conversation by covering the right ear cup. Unfortunately, the touch-sensitive control scheme is not as precise as physical buttons, which may cause a couple of accidental inputs. They also fold into a more compact format, which makes them decently portable but a bit difficult to carry around on your person. They will easily fit into a bag or backpack, and they come with a pretty good and sturdy case. The noise cancellation works really well, and this makes them a great option for commuting and traveling. They also don't leak much volume, so you can use them in quieter settings without distracting the people in your vicinity. The Sony Connect app is very intuitive. It comes with lots of handy features. It gives you live data on adaptive noise cancelling. The adapted sound control works well as it determines your location and surroundings and gives you the best noise control and sound. And it's particularly useful when in the aeroplane, as it also determines the atmospheric pressure and sets the things accordingly.
So that was just a power nap, it's a must, that's what they say, to increase your productivity. And also noise cancellation, man, that's the best use of it, block out all the sound, and when there's no noise, I think you just go into a space, man. So let's talk about the sound quality. The sound quality is in fact really good. For casual listeners, it's just perfect. The bass, it's very well balanced, and also the mids are also, the range is also pretty good. The output comes out really well. Maybe when you're listening to jazz and blues, you would not be all that thrilled about it, but otherwise I think overall it's just perfect, especially the noise cancellation. And the thing about these headphones is that they're meant for travelers, right? So, and I use them when I'm traveling, when I'm in a metro or a train or in a plane.
So over there, when the noise cancellation comes into picture, and with audio, that's what the thing is. When there's less noise, you actually listen to audio, and it's a good experience. That's what I can say. The battery life is also fantastic. So got 20 hours plus easily. I could have gotten more. It's just that I don't like to leave my house without charging things. So unfortunately, I just charge it. So I expect around, I would have definitely gotten maybe 3 or 4 hours easily out of it. So battery life is just fantastic. Build quality is excellent. Like I said, very comfortable. When you just put them on for 3 hours, you won't feel any itch. So that's a great thing. They have to be comfortable, and you should not feel all that sweaty and all that. So very comfortable. You don't even realize that they are bulky, and you put something on your head. So very comfortable. Audio quality is also good. I think total value for money, great competition for Bose Quiet Comfort. So I think for 30,000 rupees, there are value for money. If you have that kind of money, it's not less. So that's all. I can still take a power nap because my work is in progress. It's in control.
With that, I will take a short break, because break is important, man, because you don't want to break your back. So just take small breaks and continue working. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back. You're still watching Tech and You. My name is Gaurav Preti. Now, let's take a look at the launch of the week. Samsung has launched their new A8 Plus. Take a look.
It's a big day for Samsung and all the smartphone lovers in India. As the year 2018 just started, Samsung is all set to launch the Galaxy A8 Plus, which they are saying to be the best in the class and would give you the best experience. So let's just find out if it exactly is amazing or not.
Samsung has launched the Galaxy 8 Plus in India. The device does seem like the toned-down version of the Samsung Galaxy S8 and comes with most of the features that Samsung offers with its premium segment devices. The device will be exclusively available on Amazon India's website at a price of 32,990 rupees. The e-commerce platform will also introduce various offers along with the device, but so far they haven't been disclosed. The Galaxy 8 Plus does not come with the curved screen-like edges of the Galaxy S8 or the S8 Plus, but the device does have an infinity display that gives it a lot more up-to-date and futuristic look. Unlike most phones launched last year, the device will come with a slightly taller aspect ratio of 18.5:9. The company has skipped the dual camera setup at the rear panel. However, they have compensated for it by offering a dual lens front-facing camera. The setup includes a 16 megapixel fixed focus f1.9 image sensor and an 8 megapixel f1.9 sensor. The rear camera features a 16 megapixel sensor with f1.7 lens. The device also comes with Samsung's signature Super AMOLED display. The front panel has a 6-inch display with a full HD resolution and narrow bezels. The device is powered by an octa-core Exynos chipset. 2 of the 8 cores are clocked at 2.2 GHz and the rest at 1.6 GHz for energy conservation. The device comes with IP68 certification that gives it reasonable protection against water and dust. The device comes with 3500 mAh battery and has 64 GB of internal storage, which is also expandable via microSD card to up to 256 GB.
So now when finally the Samsung Galaxy A8 Plus has been launched in India and will be competing with the smartphones like the OnePlus 5T and the Honor View 10, the company has made it Amazon exclusive and would be available from the 20th of January this month at a price of Rs 32,990. To find out if it really do justice to the money that one has to pay the phone, you have to wait until and unless we get you the full review on the Samsung Galaxy A8 Plus.
Alright, time for some gaming, huh? Because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
When Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was launched in 2014, it was a surprise to the gaming industry. It was introduced as one of the most astounding design innovations in the past decade of game development. Yet again, the developer has come up with another title called the Middle-earth Shadow of War. Again, the Nemesis system forms the most intriguing part of the game, offering more variety of orc thanks to an increasingly diverse voice cast. Collecting information and trying to assassinate enemy leaders you recognize remains fun, recapturing that magic. The game's fun, crunchy combat is in Arkham mold, with timing-based counters and an ever-increasing pool of moves and powers that increase its complexity. But before you wade into combat, it's worth interrogating weak-minded orcs to discover intel about their superiors, things they're scared of, weapons they're weak against, and so on. In Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, Frodo, Sam and Gollum briefly stop at Minas Morgul, home of the Witch King of Angmar and Nazgul. In Shadow of War, you get to visit this place before they claim it as their fortress, back when it was the city of Minas Ithil in Gondor. It's disappointing about the story where the writers have focused squarely on the mystical doomed side of Lord of the Rings, people solely discussing Sauron's growing power, lamenting the war ahead. We're not unsympathetic to developers' Monolith's approach though, as their options are limited. The brief was to create a game that mimicked many of the most famous scenes from the movie. Where Shadow of War expands on the idea is by greatly increasing the positive and the negative attributes of each orc, which you can find out by interrogating their underlings. This can reveal that an opponent is vulnerable to poison, for example, or that the stealth attack is useless. It's possible not only to learn more about your enemies, but to plan ambushes and subvert whole swaths of their armies before you even face them in battle. Also, this new focus on army building turns out to be a masterstroke. Some of Shadow of War's mission design can be a little pedestrian, like release 5 prisoners, poison 5 barrels, or assassinate the orc. But between the story mission, the Nemesis system and the army building, you can always have the range of interesting stuff to be getting on with. Stuff that makes you feel like more than just Middle-earth's most powerful errand boy. And to be fair, the campaign does have some genuinely great moments. Later in the game, multiple captains will often band together and often ambush you, and it's here where Shadow of War is at its absolute best. Enemies you haven't seen in hours will appear out of nowhere, taunting you or failing to kill them just when you think you have planned the perfect mission. You'll never hate an orc more than when they manage to kill you during a fortress defense. So even when the story is poorly paced and has awkward menus and too much feature creep, but overall Shadow of War is a great action game that feels like it's earning to break free from a prison of open world busy work.
So that's all we have for you in this week's episode of Tech in You. We hope you enjoyed watching it, and I did. But yeah, I'll be seeing you next week because there's lots more that we have planned for you in the coming week's episode. In the meantime, follow us on social media, give us your suggestion in whatever way possible, right? So until we meet next, take good care of yourself and be good. Gaurav Preeti, out of the studio.